How's it going, Eliminators? Today, I'm going to be showing you how to fix loose steering on a Cub Cadet CC30. So with that being said, let's get right into it. So in the shop today, I have a Cub Cadet CC30, and like I said, we're going to be fixing the steering issue using a repair kit supplied by MTD. Now, MTD manufactures not only the Cub Cadet CC30, but also the Troy-Bilt TB30R and the Columbia CR30 models. This is a very common issue, and it does affect all three of those models. Now, one of the first signs is going to be to look at your steering wheel and then look at your wheels. You guys can see that the steering wheel is straight here, but the wheels are turned. So I'm just going to put my foot on the bottom corner of that tire, and then I'm going to turn the wheel. Hear that clicking? That's not good, and that's what we're going to be fixing today. So I have the steering repair service kit here on the workbench, and before I get into part numbers and all that, I wanted to briefly explain what happens that ends up causing this issue. So you essentially have this steering rack, and then you have your pinion gear. Your pinion gear is connected to your steering column. So when you turn the wheel, this pinion gear turns, and then it thus transfers that motion to your wheels. Now, one of the issues is that this steering rack here starts to back away from the pinion gear, and you could imagine what happens then. The teeth no longer line up, and you get that clicking where the pinion gear is turning, but they're just bouncing off of the steering rack here because it's just backed itself away. So that's what brings us to this MTD supplied service kit. So the part number for this kit is going to be a 753-11064B. Now, this is the latest kit as of August 9th, 2021. And if you read through it, basically it goes about saying that the older parts are no longer available because this one has newly developed parts, which is going to be this steering rack support. Now, without getting too technical, this plastic rack support locks itself into your steering bracket there. However, it has been designed to slide over top of your steering rack. It prevents this steering rack from backing away from the pinion gear, which will then prevent the slippage that creates this steering problem. Now, this service kit is going to affect any of the 24-inch rear engine mini riders from 2013 to 2017, as well as all of the 30-inch rear engine mini riders from 2013 all the way up to 2020. So some of the 2020 models are affected as well. Now, you'll be able to call your local dealer, give them your model number and serial number, and they'll be able to tell you whether or not this will be covered under warranty. If you are out of the warranty period, you'll be able to purchase this kit through your dealer for a price of about $76 Canadian. Supplied in the kit is going to be the new steering bracket, new steering rack, steering pinion gear, the rack support, 3 nylon lock nuts, as well as 2 bow tie cotter pins. This is fairly easy to install, so I'll go ahead and get this repair started. Now, before we get started on this repair, there's going to be a couple things we're going to have to do. The first thing is we're going to have to remove these top plastic covers from the steering column because we're going to have to access some bolts that hold the steering bracket into position. And then after we do that, we're also going to have to lift up the front end of this machine because we're going to be working under the front end, and we're going to need this in the air in order to do that. Now, in order to remove this top plastic piece, there is going to be a little push button here that will allow you to extend the steering wheel. So you're going to press that in and then pull up on your steering wheel to expand the steering column. Now, at the back of the top plastic piece, there is one Phillips screw holding it into position. So just go ahead and remove that. Now, underneath of this top cover, there are going to be plastic clips. So what you want to do is rotate the plastic cover counterclockwise and then lift up. You're going to notice that there are these openings in the slots, and that's what's going to allow you to lift up on that plastic piece. Then we can just rotate this out of the way for now. Now, in order to remove the lower plastic piece, there's going to be 2 black push pin retainers on the front and rear of the steering column. You're going to have to pop those up and remove those. Now, I have a tool for this, but you basically just want to pop the pin up just enough so that you can get under the retainer, and then you should be able to pop that whole thing out just like that. At this point, you can grab a hold of the lower plastic piece, lift up, and then we're just going to rotate it counterclockwise to the side. Removing those top plastic covers from around the steering column are going to allow us to have access at the 2 carriage bolts that hold the steering bracket into position. So that's where those 2 smaller nylon lock nuts secure themselves to. And at this point, it would be a good idea to go ahead and clean under here as well. Now, this MTD service kit also comes with a fully illustrated instruction manual. So my video will just serve as a visual aid for anybody that needs help. You can just simply follow these instructions. It is fairly straightforward. But before going any further, now that we have access to the steering column, one of the first things we want to do before starting on this repair and removing anything is going to be using a paint marker or like a Sharpie marker, and we're going to mark the position of the steering column bushing, as well as the frame. So we're going to draw a line down between all of them. Now, one of the issues with this problem is that your steering wheel and the wheels themselves get out of alignment. So before we take our marker and mark the position of the steering column, go ahead and center up your steering wheel. However, keep in mind that you're going to want to have the little push button engaged in one of these 3 adjustment holes, and that will align your steering wheel with the steering shaft. You guys can see I just have a little bit of painter's tape there to hold the plastic cover up onto the steering column. And then now that everything is lined up, I can take my paint stick and draw a nice little line right down the middle of that steering column. Just something that will help you position things afterwards. We have to keep in mind that the steering rack here does have a center line, so you will always be able to center up your wheels. However, your steering wheel is what we're lining up here. So to lift the front end of the mower up in the air, I'm just using my chain fall here. So you guys can see that if we pull on this one chain, it slowly starts to lift the chain of whatever it is that it's hooked up to. So whenever I find a position for the equipment to be in that I'm comfortable in, I put a bolt through that chain there, and then I just start to lower it down just a little bit. And then what'll happen is if this chain fall ever goes into a freewheel position, the chain will go up and the bolt stops it and locks it up. Basically, just as a safety, that prevents the machine from completely falling down to the ground. Now, as I said, this repair is very straightforward. So the first thing we're going to do is, using a 1/2-inch socket, we're going to remove and discard the nylock nut on the end of the steering shaft. The reason you're getting rid of the old hardware is because new hardware is supplied with the kit. At that point, we can use a 7/16 socket to remove both of those nylock nuts there. Again, they have the carriage bolts on the upper side that you'll probably have to put a little bit of pressure onto. And then at the ends of these rods are going to be cotter pins that hold them onto the little steering spindles there. Now, you guys can see there is a zip tie around here. So my customer has been dealing with this issue for a while and tried to kind of, make something that would work. This zip tie was supposed to keep that steering rack from sliding backwards, and you guys can see just how much play is on this design. So we're going to be fixing this up for him today. So we'll use a 1/2-inch socket on my impact here to remove this one. Believe it or not, the most difficult part of this repair is going to be removing these little cotter pins on the rear steering linkages from the steering spindle. I like to use these PowerPoint needle nose pliers because they have these rounded tips that you can hook into the end of the cotter pin, grab a hold of it, and then they remove it very easily. You can see this one broke, so it came out even easier. Also, I don't know if these cotter pins are factory, but you can go ahead and discard them because we do have the new bow tie cotter pins to install once everything's reassembled. With the cotter pins out, your steering linkages should be hanging freely. At this point, we can take the 7/16 socket and remove these 2 nuts here. Once you get those removed, you can pull the steering support, steering rack, and your steering linkages right out. And just make sure you don't bump those carriage bolts up top because they will roll back down. However, one little trick to prevent you from losing one of those is just go ahead and remove one and leave another, and that way when you're putting the new rack on, then you can go ahead and hold that down and fasten a nut onto it and then kind of rotate it into position for that one. And at this point, you should be able to grab the pinion gear and remove that. At this point, you can transfer the steering rack and bracket assembly over to your workbench. We will start to disassemble that, but we are going to be assembling the new one first, and I'll get to that in a moment. You're going to notice that this rack does have a black plastic rack support right here, but the issue is, again, they will wear out and you get that play, which then, creates a lot of play in between the pinion gear and the rack. So, in order to get this rack support into the new bracket, you're going to have to lay this in a certain position here so that you can put it in this way and then slide it into this side here. And then you're going to rotate it. And if you get it into the right position, you'll be able to rotate it just like that and it will hold itself in place. So once you get the plastic rack support secured into the steering bracket, before we install the steering rack there, we're going to have to grease the rack support. Now to do that, MTD recommends Benylene number 920. That's going to be this MTD part number. Now, if you don't have the Benylene 920 from MTD, it's no big deal. That stuff is like $30 US just for a small 8-ounce tube. So pretty much any grease will help. To lubricate that steering rack support, I'm going to be using some Lucas white lithium grease. This stuff says it's good for plastic bushings, and that's essentially what this is. Once you get the rack support greased up, go ahead and grease up the steering rack as well, and then you can basically just slide it into the rack support. Now, it might seem a little stiff at first, but once you grease it up, that thing should slide nicely. At this point, we're going to want to remove the steering linkages from our old rack assembly. As you can see in the instructions here, the left one is going to be silver and the right one is going to be gold in color. And that's when you're looking at it from this angle. So this one here is silver. Basically, I'm going to be taking them out one at a time, and then we'll just reinstall them, the way that we took them out. This one, like I said, kind of silver in color, and this one looks silver, but slightly gold hue to it. You don't want to mix them up. I don't know if they're a longer length or what, but just do one by one. Basically, the issue with these is that there's not a lot of support in the older style black plastic support. The newer white ones may even be Teflon, I'm not too sure, but basically this old style allowed the steering rack to move. Look how much play there is in there, and essentially, like I said, that moves it away from the pinion gear. You get all of this grinding and not good, so replace that style if you can. And before we bring this new steering rack over to our machine, you want to take some grease and lubricate the teeth on the steering rack as well. And then before we take the new steering assembly over to the machine, there is going to be this center line that you want to line up to the hole on the steering bracket. So basically that just centers up your steering rack to the steering support bracket. Next up, we're going to be doing a little bit of preventative maintenance by applying a little bit of Permatex nickel anti-seize to the splined shaft where the pinion gear goes. That'll prevent that pinion gear from seizing in the future. So if we ever have to do like a plastic steering shaft bushing replacement or a new rack, years down the road, I know that that pinion gear will slide right off with no problem. We'll take the newly supplied pinion gear and slide that onto the steering shaft. Now that you have the pinion gear already installed, you're going to take the steering bracket and come in from an angle and then kind of lift up on the backside, because what you're going to do is set the steering rack onto the teeth of the pinion gear and then just go ahead and lightly start the threads on one of the nylon lock nuts on the support bracket bolt. Going back to what I mentioned earlier about preventing one of the carriage bolts from being hit back, just starting on one and then putting the other one in is going to be much easier. Once again, we're just double checking that the steering wheel is straight while we assemble this. So I now have the other bolt installed. Everything is still loose. And at this point, before you tighten anything up, you want to make sure that the rack is centered in relation to the steering bracket. So if you want to, you could basically just take a measurement. I had about 2 3/4 of an inch of steering rack on either side, and the steering wheel is still straight. You guys can see that. So at this point, we're going to slowly tighten up the 7/16 nylon lock nuts on the steering support bracket. Using my impact, I'm just going to snug these up for now. We will be torquing these to the manufacturer's recommended torque specs after. So once you get those lock nuts snugged up, we're going to be torquing the smaller 7/16 lock nuts to 90 inch-pounds. And then we're going to be torquing the larger 1/2 inch lock nut to 185 inch-pounds. And in order to get the proper torque on the steering shaft bolt, you will have to get someone to hold the steering wheel, or else the shaft and the gear will spin. So with someone holding the steering wheel up top, we're going to torque that to 185 inch-pounds. Then insert the tie rod ends into the hole on your steering spindle, and then install your new bow tie cotter pins. I'll lower down the machine. I tell you, having this I-beam, crane, and chain fall there comes in handy. Now, before I reassemble those top plastic covers, I am going to be pushing this outside to clean up the inside area that's filled with debris there. As you can see, both wheels are straight, and if we come down to our steering shaft, everything is lined up. So I'll bring this outside, use my compressor to blow all this out. Now that that's a little cleaner, we're ready to reinstall these plastic covers. So once again, you're just gonna grab a hold of this and rotate it to the position where these little tabs down here line up. This one just pops into place like that. But if you find that the front and sides are lining up, don't force it because the back tabs may not be lined up. Just lift up on this, push forward to line those tabs in, press down, and this whole console should just snap into place. Pop your push pin retainers back in by locating the lower tab first and then press down on the upper tab. And once you get both push pin retainers installed, grab a hold of this upper cover. As I said, drop it into those larger grooves and then rotate it clockwise, and you should be able to lock it into position just like that. You can then reinstall your Phillips head screw into the plastic cover here. And then don't forget to lock your steering wheel back into whichever position you find most comfortable. And just like that, our repair is complete. The steering wheel is straight, the wheels are straight, and this machine turns without the wheels clicking. Now, you're always going to have a little bit of play in the steering wheel, and that's pretty common for just about any lawnmower that doesn't have hydraulic or electronic steering. So if you have that steering issue on a Cub Cadet CC30, a Troy-Bilt TB30R, or a Columbia CR30, pretty much any of the 30-inch rear engine mini riding lawnmowers, follow the steps in this video and you'll get this fixed up in no time. Well, that's going to wrap up today's video. Also, just wanted to make an announcement that our channel just hit 50,000 subscribers. So I wanted to thank all the subscribers for that. There will be a giveaway in the near future, and I will be giving more details on that in some upcoming videos. So make sure you hit the little bell down below so that you can be notified of all my latest uploads. If you guys enjoyed the video, think about leaving me a thumbs up. You know, it really helps me out. You can click here to subscribe and click over here to watch one of my previous videos. I upload every single week, so be sure to stop on by next week. Check channel out for new content. And as always, guys, thanks for watching.